When was I? When did I become a fine mind?
About 3 seconds ago.
Mooney.
Uh-oh.
Can-
Yay!
Wait,
There he
Moon
is.
wants to say something. Can you talk?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hey, I'm
Barely.
talking. Can you hear me?
There it is.
Yes. Okay.
Yay!
Everybody quiet
I
and
hear him.
follow me. Come here, please, you guys. So what we're gonna do is we don't have all the time in the world, okay? Please behave, Todd. Please, especially I'm looking at you. Behave. Go there. Okay. We're gonna go through 6 levels, platforms here, with each one have as a different drum instrument. What we're gonna do is we're gonna first play on each one in 2 different styles. One style is wild style, is just exploration, just going crazy, and another is solid style. Okay? And when I say solid style, I want everybody to play together and try to hold a rhythm section that would make sense for a track or piece of music. So it's a bit like the dichotomy between like a drum solo when the drummer goes improvises and plays all the different things, but versus a beat that is held that repeats itself. And the goal is to, after all these different instruments, we're gonna play each one a few times, get some feedback, get a bit of sense of how you felt, maybe make some changes, try again. In the end, we will select out of these 6, 1 or 2 or the top ones that are most preferable, and in the next session we're gonna go dive deep into it to see how we can make it better, and in the last session we're gonna put it in a more musical context with more instruments. All right, so I have here a timer. Everybody go to a drum.
Pink.
Okay, so go ahead and start playing. I'm gonna join you guys and I'm gonna start a timer here. Okay, go wild style. Okay, let's play solid. Let's try to now play a bit more solid, okay? And try not to play too much with the dials. Just and no looping. Why are you doing things that we're gonna do no looping, okay? Okay, let's try to play more solid now.
Like early Prince.
Actually, that was kind of cool. Okay, guys. Good. So, this was the first attempt now. Do you guys have any feedback on suggestions on what you guys felt from this? Yes, Todd.
The one thing I've always kind of had trouble with is the latency every time I'm trying to hit right on the beat. Like so I was attempting to hit my clap like right on the 2 and the 4, but it never happens. It's like so yeah, that's a big deal for me.
Anyone else? Rave, what do you
I kept on missing it, and like I'll be doing that, then I'll accidentally hit like down here towards the wood and completely miss it, thinking that's part of it. But that'll give it a lesser sound.
Moonwatcher.
Good one.
Well, something in the freestyle, like I really like it, but there's something which I would like to have like more control, knowing like how much I'm doing myself in the performance and how much is just like in
The quantization.
Martin, Damien, you have.
Yeah, I in this kind of situation, it's hard to kind of like get the rhythm right because of the latency issues. There was also a kind of a resync that went on halfway through, which interrupted my playing. And I thought the best way I could contribute was to play a small line, stop, play again, in and out.
Mm-hmm. If you wanted to add something?
Yeah, you started going decently, but then middle you kind of sped up a little bit.
Me
As
specifically.
well.
Okay.
Yes, you.
Damien?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was just in and out, just to.
Oh yeah, it was Damien talking. Martin didn't get a chance.
Oh, Martin was talking. Okay. Wait.
No, it was Damien.
Damien was talking. Martin, can you say no?
Yeah, well, I think I need some haptic feedback or something, so I know when I'm
You don't have haptic
achieving a
feedback?
hit.
I do.
Well, I mean, if there is, I need more. I'm not getting much.
Okay.
I couldn't really hear my part anyway until I played around with the pitch.
So about the sense of delay, just to address that, we could try to turn off the quantization on the side. There's two types of latency.
Okay.
One is the latency between that is the real latency, which is from the headset, and from when the game perceives that you hit till when the sound comes outside of your headphones to the headset. And there's the other one that is from the quantization. And I know from experience, when there's live quantization on, people feel it's less responsive because it shifts your hits to the next available 16th notes. Yeah, Todd?
Yeah, it's on 16th. Okay.
One other thing about that is that with the quantization, because we don't know what sounds they are that we're playing. We think it's somebody else playing them. So that's all. I feel like that produces that problem. So also that if we had more contrast between the sounds.
So wait a second. That's a good idea. Totally. First, let's do a round. Everybody play alone. I'll start. So we all recognize our sound. Then we can play a little bit without quantization. And then let's try again with quantization, just now that we recognize our sound. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm a short hi-hat. Damien?
Okay.
You want to go?
This is without quantization.
Yeah. Okay. Like a bongo thing.
I am a bongo player. I am Bongo Fury.
Keep it off for now. We're gonna do a round and then play without the quantization. Okay, clap. Rave. We got a big snare there. Moonwatcher. You're the kick drum. Martin. Okay, you're like a hi-hat. Maybe I can make it a bit higher pitch. Like a 808 hi-hat simple. Okay. Not necessarily
also got a phase on it.
Drum sample choices, but let's do with that. Okay, let's play now without quantization. Ready?
Yep.
Let's try to go ahead and just play solid first. Okay? Okay, let's play wild. Okay. Stop. Now let's turn on the quantization back on. Okay, let's try now, okay? No funny stuff, Todd. I put you in the corner. Okay, cool.
It'll be the most fun corner.
Nice. Okay. So, any new feedback on what you guys felt now? A bit more in control, or new after playing also without the quantization? And then, yeah, Damien.
in the first instance, without quantization, I could not figure out where the sound is. And I'm somebody who teaches samba, to like groups of 20, 30 people for the last 25 years. I couldn't make out where the rhythm was, what the rhythm was. So it was very difficult for me. Yeah.
Anyone else agree with
Yeah,
that?
same really. Same kind of thing. I feel like we need a click or something to play against.
Yes, Todd.
I found that. I mean, one of the things that I always tell my kids is that if you don't know where to play because everybody's playing something different, use your eyes to look at where the person who's leading. And so what I did was I looked at where you were playing your hi-hat, and I could sync with you. And so that I feel like just having those kind of simple cues are helpful.
Same.
Yeah.
So,
it's really good because
you
I
know-
felt like we're lost in trying to connect with everyone.
Can you say it again, Moon? You're
It's hard.
a bit quiet.
Like,
Can you say it again?
sorry. It felt like hard to connect with everyone else. That like to find like a common rhythm and to start a flow. Like it was like, but yeah, like Todd's idea, like looking at how you guys are moving. I think that can help a lot.
Rave, you wanted to say something?
I noticed between the two that when I noticed that there was a little bit of a pause there before it got hit again. With the quantum on, whereas with the quantum off, it's not sharp.
Yes.
So you prefer it with or without the quantization? I didn't understand.
Without.
Without. And what about in the context of everybody playing together, which felt like was more, you felt more together with everyone when it was without
I was
quantization?
just. Yeah, I thought it was that we played a little bit better without the without the Q word.
Okay. Q word.
You and me.
Also,
me,
you
we're on
thought,
that-
think
we're on that
that
team.
without the quantization sounded better? Felt better?
No. Well, I will say that I mean also there is the whole curve of us feeling comfortable with each other and our I think that there's a human element to this too, that the longer we get
For sure.
we have with our instruments, we'll hear where we need to play, because I think
For
our
sure.
first inclination is to play everything so we could be heard. In my classroom it's the same thing, it's like you get lost in all the other sounds. So
Okay. So I think we're already 25 minutes in. Do you guys have extra 10 minutes to go past the scheduled
Sure.
time?
Yeah,
Fine
yeah,
for
I'm
everybody?
good.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I really want to drill a bit more here, just to give you guys a feeling of this type of instrument first. What I can do, I think someone suggested that maybe there's a click. We could try that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Having a metronome to play on
Yeah.
top.
yeah,
You guys want to try again with and without?
Yeah, I'm still going to turn off my quantization, but leave on the metronome. Yeah.
Okay, let's turn off the quantization.
Yeah, let's do that.
Everybody,
Okay.
and let's go.
Can we have one? Can we have one leader? Can we have one leader? Is that all right? I know that seems a little weird, but so that we can see if the leader's on in our headset. If
We can
'cause if
try.
I'm doing this,
Why don't you lead?
am I syncing with the
No,
click?
no,
Okay. See, that's the problem, I think.
exactly. That's kind of what I'm trying to lead you guys into understanding, that there's technical issues. We will never be in sync. It's not like being in real life. We can try to just everybody play the click together.
This is a visual aid right here. That's a good visual aid on the top there.
That and the glowing bubble.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't quite tell when it's being hit.
I can change the sound or add more sound to it also. Maybe
That's okay. Visual is good. The visual and the sound is good as far as metronomes go.
maybe a click. Okay, do you want to try with the metronome, with the quantization now? Sorry.
Yeah. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
No, that's worse for me.
Okay, now try to ignore how you feel necessarily about your accuracy and feel how you feel about the end result of everyone playing together. Okay, let's play a bit more wild.
Oh, I love that, Damien. That was great.
Okay, now let's try to play a solid beat. Okay, let's stop. Cool, guys. Nice. Any last opinions and before we move to the next floor? It's already 30
It
minutes.
ain't samba.
It ain't samba.
I loved how it was able to get those. I love that you were able to get those triplets in there. That was really great.
I'm not sure if they were triplets. They were
was not
probably like
triplets.
no, couldn't have
Okay,
been.
now everybody please grab a bubble and take your bubble and bring it to the floor under. Okay?
Well, empty. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Put the bubble in.
I love this one.
Okay. You know what, Rave? I want to change your sample. I've been hearing it already for the last. Try this one here. No, this.
Okay, here you go.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys a brief explanation of how this one works in case you don't know. So.
Oh, Moon doesn't have one. Moon doesn't have one.
Come here, Moon. Use this one.
Okay.
What sample you got? Bass drum, important.
The bass.
There you go. Okay.
Oop.
And this one is nice percussion. I think you need a hi-hat instead of a snare because she has a snare already. By the way, you can switch samples if you want.
Oh, I'm loving this.
I'm gonna take this one actually. Okay. So let me give you guys a small demo before we go in case you don't know this instrument. Please don't touch any of the dials. They don't matter for this case. Maybe just the volume if you don't hear yourself enough. So this one activates both when you tap it and when you change between regions. Switch between regions, left and right, up and down. And if you go more deep inside and move, it's going to be more quiet, and more out on top is more loud. And it's hard to hear, I think, but it could be that this angle doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So let's play like half a minute of just wild style. Okay. See how it goes when you guys are just going crazy with it, just exploring. Yeah, go.
The rhythm is gonna get you. Rhythm is gonna get you. Rhythm is gonna get you.
All right, Gloria.
Okay, let's now try to play something solid. Todd, please, can you try to play now a solid beat that could work well as a rhythm section for a track, okay? Okay. Let's pause 1 second. Nice. Very cool. Okay, what do you guys think? Let's start. Todd, you want to go first? Or-
It gives me definitely gets me in the flow state a lot quicker than the single hits.
Rave, when you have any thoughts?
Okay, I have both a positive and a negative for this one. The
Please.
positive is that it's easy to go like from here to here. But on the flip side, just playing that one, it can be a little difficult just to keep my cruiser in that single note going to that exactly that same spot.
Mm.
You know, to a constant, so to say.
I mean, if it was bigger, would that solve it? Because you would have more room.
Yeah, but then when you're trying to play a quieter one, it'll be a little bit harder to just press all the way in.
Ah, I see what you mean.
know.
So you can't control the volume, and because you have to go through the loudest part. Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. That's a good one.
That's good feedback.
Martin.
Yeah, I kind of like this because I can hold a longer one.
Ooh, I didn't even try that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good for me. That kind of combination of the two,
You can use 2 hands.
that kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I'd like to almost be
Yeah,
able to
two.
lock that, like press a
Mm,
button and lock that sustained note as well.
ooh, that's a great idea.
very nice. Moonwatcher.
Well, yeah, I like it. Just as Todd said, like I can get into the flow way faster. But I feel like kind of weird in a way because it's in a way like I'm hitting right or I'm moving my hands, but it's like it's not finding like if I'm moving my body, I would like it if I can be like way more corporal about it. Like, okay, if I'm just I'm limited in this axis, but I feel like I can go way freer if I can actually move my body way more, right? Like instead of this middle ground of just hitting, or it's like in a weird middle ground of hitting or moving. Like, okay, I would like to decide. Okay, like, okay, if I'm going to move my body, I actually want to make music with my whole body movement. So yeah.
So you think it's a bit limited the
Yeah.
size scope? You would
See-
like
see,
to
I feel
bigger
like
movements.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Nice. Damien.
Okay. This gave more musical sense. I think everybody was able to play something a little bit more cohesive because of the quantization and the way that the sound changes when you break a collider, go into a new collider. It doesn't look like a drum, so I've never used this as a drum machine before.
Sure.
And it also takes up a lot of kind of like virtual space just for one sound. But saying that, it's really nice what you could do. Martin was doing the same sound in 2 different ways, which made it a bit more interesting in terms of what you could do with the sound. I like what Rafe said about, once you're in there, you can't actually keep that note going.
Actually, you
Perhaps
can
if it was...
you can click trigger to re-trigger it inside once you're inside. This I forgot to say.
Gotcha. Okay, so there is a hardware solution for that, which is that trigger.
Yes.
I can
Yeah,
see
it works
people
well with the
who are
quantization.
new to this not knowing that.
Sure,
Yeah,
but
for
I
sure.
guess like it's I want to separate like the functionality and once you know so to get something good, and then like how to communicate the abilities. That's a topic that I would like to get into, but probably on another session.
Oh yes.
It's a whole
Signifiers.
other really important part.
Yeah.
What did I want to say? Did you guys feel like sorry, Damien, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, in terms of like a design for this, I think it's quite deep. It doesn't. If it was a lot shallower, maybe, then it would be more recognizable as a drum. But I get what you were saying. Yeah, you kind of alluded to that.
Yeah, for me, the form factor is not the main point in this first session. It's more to find what is the best kind of thing to start with, and then we can design it in a nicer way to communicate better. But did you guys feel? I didn't hear any complaints about delay or latency now. Does it feel more?
Well, this
Yeah.
I'm playing something with a slower attack anyway, so it becomes a bit less relevant. It's not so
Yeah,
from
that's
my,
it.
my sound.
But that's for you.
Well, yeah, and again, if
everybody else, because like in the other one, people were saying it didn't feel like they were activating the sound when they wanted to. Did you guys feel the same here, or did it feel better? Yes, Todd.
It's a brand new, just like Damien said, it's a brand new instrument. So you're kind of like enjoying the fact that it's like, oh, you're discovering that you're making good sounds on accident. Up there, it's so recognizable. You're like, I'm not doing the thing that I know that if I had something that looked like this was in front of me. So it's like you can get into that more imaginative state because you're in a. It's like you have a space instrument in front of you. You know.
That's a fantastic point.
And also-
Like, yeah, and also,
Oh, sorry, because with the drums, and playing with like you have like an analog reference of how it should behave.
Yes.
So it's easier to notice what's not working in this instrument when there's not like something exactly instrument like that in the physical world. Like I can forgive more like those things because it's like it feels more native to the medium instead of trying to replicate a physical instrument.
that I think this it's both points, right? That it doesn't look like a drum, so you don't expect it to feel like a drum, and that also it's somehow more connected to the medium. I think that what do you guys think? I kind of feel also like the gesturally when you move between sections, it's like there's no expectation to hit something, and it feels more responsive.
Yes, yes. Because I've never liked when I hit like a virtual, virtual drums. Like it just has never felt really good. It's like I hit it and I need like a stop feedback and I don't have it. So it's like if I want to go crazy, I just can't because I will miss something that I know like in a physical drum it's going to sound like that. So this I can just like go. Yes, it's just more freeing and more fun.
I kind of have addressed that issue before in my own research and using hard surfaces to guide your hand. So I've actually positioned this on my table now.
Oh yeah, and it works better.
And I get this kind of like passive feedback. I get this bounce, which is necessary, I think, for like drums. So that's something I've done before. That's why I went with my hands and not with my controllers.
I see. So that's something that's really super interesting. But in this specific research, I want to try and focus on like staying super in VR. So for a mixed reality scenario, I think that is a total solution. But if we're talking just about native VR stuff, I want to find something that the user doesn't have to kind of reposition their space and stuff. Guys, let's move on to the next floor. Take your bubble. Let's go down.
Whee!
Okay. Switch off this level.
Going down. Calling timber.
The third level of hell.
Exactly.
I've never played with this one.
Okay, let me give you guys a quick demo. My controller is stuck. Goddamn. Okay. Yeah. Put the bubble in. Let me give you a quick demo. There's a looper here also, but please don't activate it. It's the button on top. Okay, so look, but I want to actually use this sample. Martin, if you don't mind, one second. So
No,
I'll
go ahead.
demonstrate. So similarly, you have two hands you can use, but when you stay in a region, you don't have to click anything. It just plays a pattern, a very simple pattern. It's just some time division. So here it's half a note, quarter notes, dotted eighth note, I think. So
Eighth note.
dotted eighth note, 16 and 32. Now, if you go deeper inside, more quiet. Please don't play it. If you go more out, it's like the same like before. It's louder. The deeper you go, it's quieter. And also here, and on the bottom, it plays only first note and then quiet. And left and right is pitch. And there's another cool thing here that you can twist your controller to make the sound more closed.
Oh, nice.
Or more open.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
be warned, all of these samples are very short, so you might not hear the effect until you reach the really sweet spot, which is kind of like really with the controllers upside down. But then when you turn it more, it opens back up because it thinks you're doing like that. Okay.
Goes full
Yeah,
circle. Okay.
Yes. So let's
Okay.
try this. Go ahead, guys. Let's start.
Does that work
some
with
wild-
hands?
Oh, yeah. Wait, everybody.
There's-
Let's do one by one so that you remember what sounds you got. Okay. Rave.
I got a question before you.
Yes.
I got a question first. Is it already defaulted to swing like a lot of your instruments are?
Oh,
Because I
let's
feel like
switch
there's
it off.
already
It
swing in it.
is, but we can switch it off.
How?
Let me do it. Let me see.
Patchy likes the swing.
Okay, there we go. Try it now.
Oh shit.
No, don't go into devices, please.
Yeah,
Try
I wasn't
now.
trying to.
Let's see. Yeah, now it's straight. Okay, guys, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's good. There we go.
Okay, let's take a break. Perfect. Okay, you guys wanna comment?
That was the first one that feels like you're playing music together.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
We weren't even trying, and we managed just to, and thing automatically synced us.
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
say to play solid, and it went kind of from exploration to a real steady beat. Probably also, yeah. Who was holding the bass drum actually? Moonwatcher or Martin?
Not me.
Ah,
Not me.
Todd, you were doing bass drum.
Nope. Nope. It's rave. Rave.
Very cool. Very cool. Really cool.
Well, and it's also got a real. I mean, because of the sound system in the headset, it gets loud really fast. But I think that we could all adjust, and if we're listening, we can adjust, and we can really play with the dynamics. But what tends to happen in a VR environment, I found, is that everybody just wants to play the loud part at the same time. So yeah, just a little bit of teaching, in by way of like, okay, you get to do loud now, and you get, it's like, yeah,
A little bit of conducting, but also I think
more
that
conducting. Yes.
conducting, and training, but also where I think that one of the things that we probably want to do is have more control on the speaker, that it has a spatial sound, but I think would be very
Yes.
powerful to control what is the bubble size, like what is the spread amount, so that you can still hear
Good.
yourself the loudest. So, but if you are like a more here, then the fade out of the volume is more dramatic, for example. But that's a bit unrelated. What else? Anybody wants to comment? Damien, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that working with electronic instruments in classroom situations where everyone's plugged into an amplifier, I tend to have a rule, and it might be an algorithm that could be applied in some ways, that the more the sounds that you produce, the less volume you get. So if some kids really like, wah, you turn it down, the kid still gets to express themselves, they're just not that big an impact. You know
So what?
Perhaps there's...
That could even be like a bit more programmatic here. If you do this, maybe it should automatically lower the volume a bit.
Perhaps
That's good.
That's good in a group situation when you're maybe 2 or 3 people and you want to make that impact. It's taking choice away from you.
I like that. That's a really interesting idea too. If you have more information it lowers the volume automatically. Does everybody think that makes sense?
Yes.
Well, you
I like
are you
Yeah.
just really
But-
talking about using limiters and compressors?
No,
and that
I'm
kind of
talking about actually here in the instrument, we can know
Yeah.
what is the time division. And we know if we play this time division, we can just gradually lower the volume of the sound as it becomes faster.
Yeah.
It couldn't be an option. It could be another little button you could turn on and off.
Well, right. I was thinking from a host standpoint, you could also have like that could be a setting, a preset that like, okay, if we know there's going to be a lot of wildness, we can put that preset on. I mean, that's a simple fix.
Okay. It could also be just this local. So in your local environment, you can do whatever you want in your local sound bubble. But then whatever goes to the master mixer, there's a person that's in control and they can adjust the volume. Or maybe there's like even like tips, like if you play loud, so you still have that range of control. If you play loud, then if you play a lot, then make it more quiet. Anybody else wants to add?
Well, this one, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Moon.
Well, in terms of performance, this was the most fun by far. It feels like the most native, and also kind of having this guidance. Okay, I put a hand and this generates this crazy sound. That sometimes when you play in VR, it feels like you want to do more, but maybe the interface or whatever doesn't allow you to do that. So here's like it feels like I kind of I could express what I was feeling and go crazy and moving up and down, left and right. Like it just felt really good and helped me to get into a flow and to actual fun. Yeah.
Cool. Rave, what about you? Anything?
I just like this one.
Okay. Martin, did you say everybody got the chance to express anything else?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, let's grab
One
your
more thing.
button.
The
Oh, yeah.
the
One more
visual
thing, Damien?
the visual. Yeah, I was gonna say
One
the
more
visual.
Is that there's only one dotted note version here. There's nothing in the like the fourths or the in the twos. that
Let's
give
go
you
to the next
chance.
floor. The two floors down will answer that question. Todd, what you want to say something?
Okay.
I was just gonna say it's like when we were talking before about like being able to hear or know when we were playing, the visual reminder is really helpful because it's like it actually, oh, that's me because I'm doing that exact thing. So that helps you find yourself a lot easier.
Absolutely, I agree. That's a really good point for this one. You can really see the sound. Okay, grab your bubbles, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a oldie but goodie.
Oh yeah.
This one might need more bubbles, so I have some more here.
I have two more here.
Okay, now put
I'll
this
tell
one
you
here.
what. Thank you.
That's cool.
I'll grab another bubble. Oh, I love this one. Actually, I did one installation where. Oh, I'm moving down.
Here we only have three of those. Then maybe you can share a spot. Because this one actually has 3 sounds each device. I don't know if we need all of that. So
I'll
guys,
take
maybe
Blue
just-
Moon if you want the red. Hey, Damien,
You can
you
share
want
with
the green one?
No,
Yeah.
carry on. I'm quite happy to watch. It's okay.
No, please. Or I think it's also interesting to see how you can fit. on-
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. This one's fun to play with.
I can give a quick demo for anybody that doesn't know how this works. You have here 3 nodes on
Let's
each
just
one.
move this one up here to 2
And
we'll call
you
it
you
good.
press the button of the color to see and hear that this sample play, and you just have 5 different regions with 5 different presets of patterns. You can also edit the
Here.
pattern in this button. You can see all the different patterns that can be played. And if you move to the right, it's open sound. You move to the left, it's a bit more short. And you can also grab it with the trigger to make the pitch go up. But I don't want to edit patterns right now. I just want everybody to just play with what's available here. So you can switch things on, off, and move to change patterns. All right.
I'll stay on the left side if you want to do this with me.
Roger.
Where's Moonwatcher?
I'm over here. Yeah.
He's right here.
Something's.
Okay.
I'm going
what's
to rejoin the session real quick
Okay.
because something's really happening that I'm spawning on top. So I'll rejoin real quick.
What's happening to you? Sorry, you keep responding there.
Yeah.
Let me delete that. Don't rejoin. I'm gonna delete this thing, and now it won't happen again. I think.
Okay.
Try.
Can I play it?
Oh yeah. Hey.
Okay. Okay, let's take a break. Second. Cool. Oh. All right. How did that feel? What do you guys?
It's off. I'm just moving them back.
No worries. What do you guys think about this? And you might be familiar with this, but it was more for maybe two people to play with, or like a solo instrument. How does it feel in this context?
I think the previous
I
one was
think the
better.
bubble.
Rave, go ahead. What do
And
you
the
say?
bubbles were. I have a little trouble grabbing the bubbles.
Mm.
I kept on trying to grab them. I'll move them, but I would like try to grab them and move them up here, something, and they wouldn't completely go. When I go to move a different bubble, I'll still be moving this one.
Mm.
I've had that issue with when playing it as well. It's almost like trying to catch a fly with chopsticks. Where's it going?
Martin,
I feel like in this one,
go ahead, Todd.
oh, it's way easier to find a really good groove when you're doing something on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the presets kind of already allow for like things are going to sound pretty good right out of the gate. So I think that's a great feature.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I have about this instrument is that it blocks the view of everybody around me. It's fairly large. It blocks visual connections with other people in the group and in mixed reality too.
Martin,
And it doesn't scale well either,
that's true.
as you can see.
Martin, what do you think?
This is, I mean, I've got a bias with this because this is one instrument I never use. I just don't like it.
Okay.
I'm not interested in what it does, and I don't like the interface. I can see in a group, in a group with other people, maybe it's a bit better. But to me, it always seems like, Damien's just talking about the space it takes up, and I think it doesn't really justify the space it takes up on my headset when I'm looking for things to do. And the XY kind of thing I like, but there's always a feeling that you could just do anything and it'll sound okay. And there's times where that's a good thing, but I don't really like work like that, And I've done a lot of things where a lot of classes we go into a room with kids, with young offenders and prisoners and stuff, and they really react differently to different interfaces that you show them. And I think this would be an interesting one for that. They don't like keyboards. They don't like anything that looks like a keyboard, but things that go more towards pads, if they know they can just grab this and wiggle this around, it's going to do something. In that context, it's a good thing. But like I said, I'm not. I think we sounded better upstairs. Personally,
Moonwatcher, what do you think?
Well, yes, I've showed actually this one on an installation that I did, and as Damien actually said, one of the things is that visually it was connected to a particle system. So you move the instrument and particles activated, but people didn't notice the particles because it was just too big. In terms of expression, it really it allows you because you have like this depth and you can go that behind you. But I don't know. I've never I think once with this specific instrument, like you find a certain group or certain pattern. In some ways, it feels kind of limited. I don't know, that I can just go beyond what the presets are in here, right? So the presets allows me, so it sounds good immediately once you get a group, but I just feel like it's kind of limited instead of what else I can do. It just it does this and it's basically that. Yeah.
Perfect. Rave, you wanted to add something?
Yeah. Once in a while, I noticed that I was also getting lost with which one of these are my sounds again?
It's almost like I kind of feel from you guys okay, it has some benefits. Okay, it's kind of very instant, like Todd said, but the expressivity is pretty low, and also the sense of control because everything is kind of pre-programmed. So I mean, it's not like maybe in the other one, Rave, you would go into the and really quickly recognize that's you doing just for a second and really connect the movement to the sound a bit better than this one. Is that fair? Analysis?
Yeah, but I wouldn't write this instrument off. And again, I think it's a visual thing. It was the first instrument whenever I loaded in Patch that I had a lot of fun playing. I thought the expression, and I was really impressed with how it visually feedback. Again, I was chasing the dot, trying to control it. So that's might be something that I had an issue with, but it was very accessible. I knew exactly what it was doing. And when I found that little interface where I could pre-program it, I've actually got one or two of these saved with pre-programmed rhythms in it, which I can bring into my own sets.
Oh, smart. Okay, guys, let's grab
one thing. One thing I've noticed with younger kids, they don't know the difference between if they're building the pattern themselves or if they're creating the pattern or if they're just
choosing it,
bringing it up. So I use an iPad app called Launchpad for that very reason. It's kind of like Jamble, where they don't really know that they're not making the actual beats happen. They just hear what they're hearing and they know that they're doing it. And I feel like there's an intrinsic value to I just made this choice and this sound came out to this instrument that other instruments don't get as clearly. So
okay, that's totally right. I guess the interesting part is how for me, what's interesting to me is a bit more expressivity and control than immediate, but with still immediate gratification. And for me, the ones that you pre-select loops is totally valid thing. But I wonder if for the case of PatchWorld, where at least for this research we want to target more instrument that will be valuable for musicians. I wonder for musicians, electronic musicians, if they are playing electronic or virtual instruments, would that be a satisfying enough choice for them? So anyway, just
Can I just say something real quick about this one that I found when playing? Yeah, something that when you want to create a loop, I'm not saying this is a good thing or bad thing, but you start there we go, moving. I create a loop, and sometimes it's not as this exact theme that I wanted to do. Maybe it's because my hand movement changed, whatever. But it's I'm not saying sometimes you get good results from that, but just with this specific instrument, it's when you want to do maybe a specific loop, maybe when you actually get the loop, it's not exactly what you were trying to do. So again, it's not something good or bad, just something that I have noticed with this one.
Yes.
One
Damien,
last,
yeah.
one last thing.
Yep.
I always put sliders and attach them to these knobs because
Oh.
when I'm playing as a drummer, I find it fiddly, too tight to get in and do little finite movements. When my hands are moving so fast, I like to be able to
Sure.
reach out, make a quick maneuver and a quick effect.
Nice. Okay, guys, let's move on. We already at the 1 hour mark. I hope you guys can stay. We have only 2 stations left. Please grab bubbles and put them in the net.
I have 3.
Good.
One bubble at a time.
This is where the liars are.
bubbles.
All the liars are here in this cycle of hell.
Oh, I've never played with this one either.
Okay, don't click any of the buttons and turn on loops. Just place the bubbles. So this one's, let's close this bubble and
Don't do anything that looks fun on this thing.
okay, everybody. Just let's do a round so you recognize your sample. I have this hi-hat. Rave. That Martin, you're also with the hi-hat. Rave, what do you got there?
Yeah.
Okay, bass drum. Moonwatcher. What do you got? Snare. Damien.
Bongo.
Stick with the bongo. Todd, what do you got?
I got a hi-hat too.
Okay, it's kind of short. Okay, so let me do a quick example of what this does, okay? Before we get into it.
Yeah.
So, the way this works is that you have a bit similar to the 2 levels before. So you have here you have quarter notes. If you go more down, it's quiet, but it also covers it up with like some filter, so it kind of muffles the sound. This one only works with one hand, by the way. You can still you can do the roll to close the sound and open. So rolling the controller, twisting. Now this is quarter notes, 8 notes, 16, and 32. But this axis is the change. It doesn't change the pitch. It gives you space. So if here is every quarter note, here it's gonna be one note, one quarter note on.
Oh, nice.
And here you have like the dotted. So you have one quiet, one quiet, one, and the same here. You have 8 notes, and then one yes, one no, and here.
Cool.
So you have a bit more variation of patterns because it uses not just one axis but 2 axes for the pattern. Okay, and
Love it.
here on the top you can actually change the volume also, like a game, and right and left controls the pitch. So you can play it with 2 hands or just set it up like that with the pitch that you want and then play this pattern. Okay, so let's start.
Oh, that's great. I don't want to play it. I just want to see everyone else playing it.
I'm gonna.
It looks amazing.
Ooh, nice. Woo! Oh, it's good.
Let's try to play more solid, like a groove, right?
There we go.
want for dinner?
Okay. Let's stop. Okay. So we are almost 10 minutes in. There's one more level underneath. I hope you guys can stick just a little bit more. Do you guys want to talk about this one? How did it feel compared to the other instruments, or in general? Did you feel like you were in control?
It felt weird just playing it with one hand.
I felt a little cramped. I love it. I think if it's a little bigger, because I feel a little bit like this. I'm on top of my hands, so if it was a little spread out, or if it was this was the left and this was the right, and everything was really that might if it was a strip as opposed to like something. But yeah,
Damien, you have thoughts? Martin?
I really like it in terms of, again, it's one of those instruments you have to explore to find out what it does. So, and I found out that, you can set, and whenever you release, it gives you whatever your last preset was, or whatever your last, so it doesn't have a little signifier, it doesn't have like a little bubble like you have in some of your instruments.
It's missing a lot of visual feedback. Yeah.
Aye, yes. But other than that, I think I could have a lot of fun with it. Again, I think it's quite deep. It's maybe having shallower, and I don't know. Maybe it's just my own thoughts.
Martin?
Not really, because I think it's too much like the other ones we used earlier. This kind of grid-based thing, I think, has a lot of potential in general. I think almost like if you combined maybe what this does with the one we tried a couple of floors up, because you want expression as well, and so do I. And I think the more you can get out of it, you don't want to have to go to a separate instrument to get a different type of expression. Yeah, I mean, I play bass and I play the instrument, which is like a really expressive instrument. And that's the whole thing for me, is that kind of just those minute kind of hands-on tweaks that can really send in a different direction, because you can't get the timing here. There's no benefit for me as a bass player to use any of this stuff. But obviously I've got a lot of other things I do. And I think, I just think this one in particular doesn't do enough. I think the larger one we used upstairs, it's a better interface. It has a lot more potential. If that could be just made to do a little bit more, I think that'd be a really strong one.
Rave, what do you think?
I still think it was a little weird playing it with one hand.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you said that.
Like part of it was felt kind of lost, so to say, because all the other ones you could play with two hands and you get two different types of sounds, or two different types of sounds depending on how what's low. But this one, it's just the steady beat.
Felt a bit limited.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Moonwatcher.
Well, what I really like from this one is that maybe it doesn't give you as much as possibilities as, for example, the other one, the grid, but I just focus a lot on body movement, and I really like that my hand is inside it. So from a performance aspect, and I don't know, it felt good. Like it just like on a feeling, it just didn't feel limited. When you have that small grid and the controllers is like. I just the fact that I can move more, I really like that. So
you have more depth,
aspect and this size. Yeah, the depth I really like.
Because the rhythm in the other one, the rhythm changes was up and down, and here it's you kind of go into it and move it around like this. You guys have any preference?
You can always make it like this. You can have a little camper.
That's how that one is basically. The other one was like that. Yeah. Okay, guys, we really have to continue. Let's take the bubble, and then after this last one, we're gonna do a last test.
Oh, this is where the murderers are.
Chan.
Okay, so this one is really the most undesigned yet, experimental one.
hell?
It
Cool.
can contain 2 different samples, but
What?
we found in the last session that when you have 2 samples, one for each hand, it gets a bit overwhelming. So if we want, you can also just duplicate the bubble and have a single sound. Maybe that's what I'll do. But as you want, you can try either way. So I'll give you guys an explanation of how this thing works. Okay. As I said, it does not have any visual feedback, so it's a bit hard to control. But hopefully you understand what is the difference between this and the other one. This one focuses on all the 3 axes of movements are just designed to control the pattern. There's no yet dynamic control like sound, pitch, anything like that. So it might feel a little bit limited, but I hope you take that into account. So the way it works is you have some of you might be familiar with Euclidean rhythms generator.
Oh yeah.
So if you go deep into it, so if I'm like here on the surface, you see here. Please listen. Don't play yet. You see here that in the back there's a number subdivisions. If I'm really, and you can see for each hand. This is at 4 now. If I go in, it's going to be 8 notes. If I go more in, 16, and if I go more in, that's 32. Same like the other one. But the difference is that if you go up, you have hits. So if I'm at 4 subdivision and 4 hits, it's gonna play all the beats. If I go 1, it's gonna play only 3 beats. If I go more down, it's gonna play only 2 beats out of the 4. And here it's only gonna play 1. And on this side, you have offset. So let's say, for example, now this just plays 1 hit on a 4 subdivision. If I move it here, the offset is going to be 0. It's going to be the 1. It's going to play the 1. If I move it here, it's going to be play only the 2. And so on. And if I go all the way here to 16 notes, you see that it plays only 8 hits or 7 hits or 10 hits, 11 hits within 1 bar. So actually holding this region really plays a very precise pattern. And if I move it here, it's going to shift the pattern over time. Now, another thing that I just discovered from the last session that maybe we would like to try is that there are actually, because of that, there are a lot of different grooves inside of this, but you don't see them. So maybe you would want, as you play, you would want to change the position or scale of this thing as you play. Please feel free to do so. Okay?
Cool.
Oh, you go play here. Or maybe don't go too far away from everyone also. Just because I want people to feel like they're still like, oh, that's interesting idea.
Yeah, rave. That's a great idea. Knock over my coffee. Hey.
This hurts.
Okay, stop. Some drama. Okay, let's do a round of 2 minutes. Everybody quickly give their impressions, and then we're gonna vote on for the next session which instrument we want to dive into, and it could be 1, 2, or 3 instruments, or and a combination of those. So we could take the best out of each one and see if we can make a superior version.
I'd love to be able to do a thing. I'd love to do a thing where like, oh, I found a sweet spot. I want to put a little marker there so I can go back to it. That'd be fun.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be nice.
A marker that freezes
Maybe
it,
have
or just so visually you can find it again.
Yes, visually I can find it again. So just like a little dot or something, or a star.
Cool. Rave, you're saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe have a put. Yeah, that's a different topic. It was great, but it was hard to keep the same beat. Like, one of them was like one was down here and the other one was up here, so I'm also getting kind of like this little workout.